Hey everyone. Hey Hugo. How are you doing?
Hello, Lucie.
I hope you're all doing great. Thanks for joining us for this second live stream with us together in part of the contest for Slice contest. Yeah. So this session is dedicated to mostly answering questions. So if you have questions for us regarding the contest or in Slice machine, feel free to ask them in the chat. We'll do our best in order to answer them. And Hugo and I, we have some topics that we noticed that we will also talk about if you are not a bit shy to ask questions in the beginning. So yes.
So if there are no questions, we have nothing to do, right?
No, we can.
Cool.
We have to fiddle with this machine and show people. Cool
So
things.
don't flood us with questions. Huh?
But yeah, the goal of this session is mainly dedicated for you guys to ask us your question. Just a quick reminder, it's last week for the Slice contest, and you have until next Monday to submit your Slice library. And yeah.
I also learned that Prismic employees could not participate.
Yeah.
So that's the best time to get fired, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, Tim, you can ask a tricky question if you want. And yeah. Yeah, but it should be alright, to start reading your library now. Yeah. I'm on my side. I'm bootstrapping a project just to start talking about few things. Yeah. But yeah, perhaps Hugo, you want to talk about few things that we were into.
Yeah, we got a question regarding basically wrapping your storybook stories with other stuff, say theme UI, for example. So adding, I don't know, a theme or loading data from server.
Yeah.
Maybe we can show something like that.
So you want to have something like that, fetch data from a source?
I was thinking of a theme provider from theme UI.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of that.
Okay, so is anyone working with, say, a theme library like, I don't know, Emotion or Theme UI on next slide? No. Next question.
Yeah, well, if you want, I can show Tailwind because I bootstrap the next project, so I don't have the React thing. But
Okay.
Perhaps Theme is working. No, not Theme is working with Vue as best as it works for you.
Sorry?
Can I use Theme UI with Vue?
No.
Okay.
So let's go with Tailwind.
Yeah, okay. So Flo, you can share my screen, I think, right now. What I did was just bootstrapping a simple project with Slice Machine. So this is something we did last time already, and we want now to show basically with a Slice Machine you create a storybook, you create a next project, and then that's not everything that you need to work with. You want other things to work with, and perhaps it's a library like Bootstrap, or perhaps it's just a Tailwind thing to add slices, or Theme UI if you're into it for React. That's other tools that you want to work with and to bring with Slice Machine. And well, thankfully I'm using Nuxt, and we have a super awesome storybook integrations that understand all of that and grants you to install them the regular way, and boom, you take advantage of them in your storybook. So yeah. I don't know if I saw a question in the chat about something. I've been using color. Okay, so you have Samuel, you have issues with next storybook color mode, and I have a switch in the header, but I can't switch mode in the header and storybook, but I can connect to it with knobs. Oh, okay, I see. That's an interesting use case. Do you understand, Hugo, what's it about?
Yep.
I have no idea how you could do that in storybook actually.
Okay, so I think the problem comes from the fact that so basically the switch between colors happens with Prismic data, right? If that's the case, you cannot simply pass the mock. You will have to first copy it and then add a knob to it. So I don't know exactly how that would work for you, but basically you need to, say, intercept the mock, making it work with knobs, and then passing it to the components. Let me check the documentation of Storybook.
Yeah, but I think it's like it's more another like global issue. Like basically, like when you have like a color mode, so like you have a dark and a light mode. So basically, it add the classes like in the HTML tag, and based on that classes, it display like a dark theme or white theme, you know, in the UI. And when you're just looking at a slice in Storybook, you don't like get this dark white theme in the URL. Like.
So then that would be a matter of wrapping, I think, if I understand clearly once again, your story with a decorator. So I can share information with that. I think it's like you can add some sort of state to your decorator so that you can switch there. But if you don't wrap your slice with the actual behavior of your switch color mode, then obviously you wouldn't get it. So let me share that.
Okay. So while Hugo is looking for sources for that, I think it was Samuel. Yeah, indeed, it's like not really related to slice machine, but that's something like really like nice question actually, and that's something that we need like to figure out. Never experienced that myself. I think that's an issue that a lot of Storybook people like got into. So I think like there's perhaps like either like plugin to trigger like dark theme or other kind of stuff. If you're looking at my screen, what I did right now is just like the regular Bootstrap. I created like a hello world slice, and I also launched the Prismic SM Develop. As we said earlier, we want to roll with Tailwind today, so I will just like proceed like to install like Tailwind to my project using the next Tailwind module. Tailwind CSS. Okay, let me have a look at the chat quickly. And now Madame Lajean, there's a lot of love for theme UI like on Hugo's side. I'm not that much into it because I'm more into Vue, but I think theme UI is still something great. I don't get it that much, but a lot of people are into it still.
Okay, so Samuel, tell me if that helps. Otherwise, we can maybe chat after the talk about your specific issue.
Yeah. On my side, I just added like Tailwind to my dev dependencies. What I need to do now is to like just install it inside my next JS configuration. So here I don't have like the right VS Code opened. Let me find that. Here we go. Okay, let me zoom it a bit for you guys. I think it's not. Yeah. So yeah, to install Tailwind like with Next, it's really straightforward. You just up to your build module things, and you add Next.js Tailwind CSS. You save, and then you can start again Storybook and everything, and it should be good. Okay, I have already the Slice Machine Builder installed. Let me have a look at question. That's really weird what Jameson like. Well, Jameson asked a question about like is adding like a global CSS file to its next configuration, and this made its Storybook crash in dev mode. I'm not sure. Well, is it like when you actually like perform like update to your global CSS file? But I think this should be working fine. That's weird. I never encountered that myself, so I don't know. I hope it's not like too disturbing. I included any global CSS file needed. Yeah, perhaps you also need like there's a next module for that allows you like to import global CSS file inside your Vue component. But yeah, I don't think that's related to this issue. Yeah, sorry. Oh, this question. Maybe we should. Oh. Lot of questions in the chat, that's great. Uh, if you see any, Hugo, like feel free to pick one to answer. Also.
Right now, it's mostly about PS5, apparently. So I will let them discuss that. Maybe if you can't split the actual console, you can do this with controllers.
So Maya, to answer you, like the deadline for the contest is next Monday. So you have until like next Monday, 11 p.m. 59 minutes, let's say, to submit your library. Anytime we by submitting library, we'll have like a spot like to explain you like what is it to submit the library at like during this live stream. But basically, you have until like the end of next Monday to submit your library, and we will announce like the winner, the two winners of this contest on our product meetup next Tuesday. So yes, there will be two winners, and winners can pick either like a PS5 or sure SM7B like to win. Let's say.
Take the PS5.
Why?
Because I want to play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's lockdown in France, so I have time to kill. Not connecting. No, yeah. Yeah, Samuel, I'm sorry, like not having much resources. I can like have a look at it like tomorrow and get back to you if you're really into that. I have no idea how you could do that, like to have like color mode in slices like nowadays. But that's a really great feedback, and we'll find a way like how to tackle that. Okay, there's yes.
Okay, so Tom, you want to. Okay, so take the text inside the rich text. So basically, that would be mapping over the rich text, which is an array, and that may contain a text property. So I think if you want to get all the text, you need to iterate inside the array, get the part of the text, and append it to the rest, and then you get the whole text.
Oh, I see what you mean, Tom. Actually, like we can do it like right now if you want. I have everything launched, so it should be like working fine. So I created like a dummy slice, which is called Hello World. What you can see in this slice, I'm displaying like rich text field, and to rephrase like Tom's question is like, oh, you can like get the text out of rich text field and display it inside your slice in Prismic and your Vue component or React component or whatever. So basically, like when you get data from Prismic returns you like rich text in the form of like an array, which is like a proprietary object that display like that represent like what your rich text is about, but it's not like something that you can like that is meant like for you like to be parsed by yourself and to understand it. So just like a raw data of rich text that you need like to parse before displaying them. Thankfully, like we have like helpers like in Prismic to like format those rich text like the way you'd like. We even like have a fancy like HTML serializer that allows you like to alter like the output of those helpers to have like something that's more like shaped toward what you'd like to have in your HTML at the end. And as you can see, like in my really like simple like hello slices, with the default like component that has in it. So it has like a title, which is actually a rich text inside Prismic, and a description, which is also another rich text inside Prismic. And to display them, which is like those data like contain like the fancy array of rich text. And to display them, like we use like the Prismic rich text view component. There's also a Prismic rich text component in React, and it behaves the same. And basically, like you just feed into this component like your rich text data from Prismic, and this component will take care of like understanding stuff like okay, this is a paragraph, this is a heading one, this is an anchor tag somewhere, anything like that, and it will do like all the magic for you. So I hope this answered your question, Tom, and yeah. So there's some competition between James and Tim Bennings, I can see. Type of text ban, but oh, okay, excuse me, Tom. Yeah. Okay. So this. Okay. And so. Okay, you answered something. Excuse me. Yeah, if you switch text to P. Okay, I see. Okay, indeed. Like if you don't want like the formatting, like just getting like extracting the text out of rich text field in Prismic, we have another helper for that. What I do here is that I will display like the same title as above, but just like the raw text of it. To do that, I just append like a string like inside my my view template, and I use the $prismic dot as text helper, which is like a simple helper that will just like extract like the content of your rich text field from Prismic and as like raw like plain text, and so you will be able like to prompt it inside your application. And the argument of this function is just like giving it like the path to it inside your slices. So here like I can take like slice.primary.title, I save, I get to my storybook here, and as you can see, like we have like this is where it all begins. But if there's no style here, but if we inspect our HTML, we can see that okay, so we can see that this one has just been appended like inside our section, where the first one has been appended inside the heading 1 tag. So again, like this is what I did like line 5, like it's just like using the Prismic as text helper from our kit. Great. Yeah, Maya. Maya has a question about how do you publish your slice library? Is it like on Netlify or Vercel? It's really like up to you. What we mean by publishing your library for like in the scope of the contest, it's just like sharing its storybook. So yeah, perhaps you want to say something?
No, I agree.
Okay, so you want to share like the build storybook of your library to like hosting it somewhere. So you can host it like on your VPS if you're into that, if you are into that. But like most people, I think like you're into like either like Netlify or Vercel, and to do that you can just like host your storybook on Netlify or Vercel. Like we don't mind. And actually, like on our 2 starters, we provide like instruction. Like if you're not like familiar with Netlify or Vercel, on how to host it there, and we actually even like configure like all the hard part of like setting up Netlify, if I can say hard part for Netlify. But yeah, it should be like just a matter of like dropping like the GitHub URL of your project to Netlify or Vercel and click deploy, and that should be it. That's what we call like publishing the library in the context of the contest. Yeah, thank you, Noah, for sharing like all the link. What documentation is going to be hard? With Storybook, you can like you have like fancy plugin in Storybook. I think like to even write documentation if you want.
Like a documentation plugin, actually. Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk about it or?
I have no prior experience with it, unfortunately.
So Maya, I hope this was answering your question for how to publish your library. Taking a quick look at the chat. Sorry, like having you to show the statistic of the live, but actually I can just pop out chat. There we go. Don't have to care about this. Yeah. There's a question from Rylan.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. So, how would you use the JSON structure if it was available, and what do you mean by filler data, like the mock content?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm still not exactly grasping the question. Feel free to give us more info, Rylan. Thank you.
Okay, I get it. I can show you that. Basically, Rylan is asking like where is like the model of your slices like stored locally in your project, and how do you can like inspect it or even like alter it yourself if you want like to not use the builder, which is not recommended, but okay, still can. And where are like the filler data? So with Slice Machine, when you create a slice, it will like create like a folder like named after your slice in your slice library folder. this folder like contains multiple things, and among them like you have like the index.view or index.js if you're in React, which is like the component of your slice itself. And next to this one you have the index.story, which is the story of your slice. And you have like two additional like JSON file, which one is mocks.json. So the mocks.json like contains like generated mocks by the slice builder that is used like inside your stories. You don't want to modify this file yourself because like it's generated every time you save something in the slice builder. And yeah, it's like something auto-generated, and we're working on improving them. Like perhaps you will talk about it later on. And the last file that you have is model.json, which is like actually like what you used to have inside the Prismic custom type builder, which contains like your slice like model definition. So here, like I can see with my hello world slice, I just have like a structured text, which is an alias of rich text, with the heading one only allowed, and a structured text of like which is like the other one, which is description, and it has like just a single paragraph apparently. Yeah. Hugo, perhaps you want to talk about like mocks and what we are planning for them quickly.
Yeah, so like most of you saw or gave us feedback, at the moment the mocks that are generated are pretty standard or maybe non-existent for some obscure fields. So we're working on something a bit more complex, which would be basically a configuration file that would come with your widgets, where you can specify a bit more how you want basically the lorem ipsum to render. So we were still talking about it this afternoon, but basically you will be able to tell us more about which kind of data you want to pass. So say, for example, if you take a rich text, would that be a single line title or a subtitle, or even maybe a story with actual headings, paragraphs, or like long form text, images, etc. And also the ability to pass your own content. So depending on the field, you will have different ways to interact with it. For an image, obviously, that would be passing a URL of the image, and we would, of course, generate the thumbnails for you, etc. For the rich text, that would be basically having a rich text input where you can write your own data. So basically, we have different problematics that we want to solve. One would be that you are able to code fast. So we provide some dummy, but not that dummy data, so that you can see how it's going to behave, your component, but then being able to polish the content so that your content writers actually understand what you're trying to achieve. And another problematic that we have is regard to stress tests of your components. So basically, at the moment, we don't provide validation of your input on Prismic for different reasons. So you might, the API might return empty fields, for example, or missing fields inside an array of items, etc. So the idea is that we should be able to generate a certain quantity of API returns, including missing content, for example, so that you can make sure that any of them doesn't break, or at least behaves correctly in that case. Still in development, of course.
Hugo is a really talented developer developing that currently right now.
Yep. So if something breaks, you can contact me directly.
Don't think you want that. Anyway, we have two really interesting questions. Well, one from James, which is like still like about like what we want you to share. So I will address that. Well, I will just address that like in the segment, like explaining like everything that you need to do to enter the contest. And I will, Ryan, get back to you just after that to explain like where the model.json is, where the model.json is created, and like how the data is provided to Prismic in depth right after that. So now I will cover like how do we enter the contest, like from A to Z. Okay, so what you need to do is to create like a slice library having like at least 5 slices in it. So to do that, like you run like the Prismic sm create slices command, and then you do like the content modeling of your slices, and you style them like the way you'd like them to be styled. And so you can do 5, you can do 6, you can do 10 if you want. Like it's really up to you. Just ask for at least 5 slices. When you create those slices, because like you might not want like to actually like launch your next application, all you want to launch is actually like just your storybook. And inside your storybook, you will have like your slices like actually like already documented, because Slice Machine create like a story file for them. So this will help you like to actually like develop those slices, and also like to document them like because like storybook is meant like to document like component. So doing that, you will be able like to develop your slice library. And once you're happy with it, once you're happy with your slice library and your storybook, like you can spend some time, and that's really welcome. Like if you want to like to spend some time like enhancing your storybook, like by adding nodes, by adding like the documentation plugin, like to even like write text to explain to your content writer like how they are meant like to use these slices, what is possible with it. You can also create like you can like edit like the stories file to like have different like variant of your slice to showcase like what are the capabilities of your slices, and so on and so on. So once you're happy with everything, once you're happy with your storybook and your slice code, you will need like to push your code to GitHub, of course. You need to make your GitHub repository like open source, so it's like open. Like you need like for the contest, we ask you like to fill like your MIT license for the slice library, just like so, like you basically state that your code is open source, and you also like make your GitHub repository open. All of this like is explained again like in the starters if you have any doubt, or in like the slice blog post. So once your code is pushed to GitHub, that's nice. That's only one thing that's left to do, is to actually like deploy your storybook. To do that, we provided like a configuration for Vercel or Netlify, but you can also host it yourself. Basically, just like making an online version available of your storybook. So if I take like for example like the one I have here, this is a slice library I developed like a while ago, and it has like an hosted version of its storybooks that I just shared in the chat. And basically, like that's what you want to share, like because like here, like for example, I hosted it on Netlify, so this gives me like a link like to an hosted version of the documentation of the slice library I just made. So to summarize a bit, like you built like a slice library, you hosted it on GitHub for the code, and you hosted its documentation on Netlify, Vercel, or whatever for the documentation part. So you have this will give you like 2 links, like one link to your GitHub and one link to your storybook. And we ask you like just to share those 2 links to us, like either on Twitter or on the community forum. So basically, just reaching out to us, like saying, hey, I just here's my submission for the slice contest. Here's my link to the GitHub repository, and here's my link to the storybook documentation. And once you give us that, like we will say, okay, you entered the contest, thank you. And yeah, we will note your name somewhere, and you will know if you are the winner or not on next Tuesday on our product meetup. And you will also like at any case, like everyone entering the contest will receive like some Prismic swag, like to thank you for your submission. Yeah. So I hope this one was clear. Actually, like I think like Noah also shared like the link like to Levi Michael like entry to the contest, like which is just an example like of sharing his library on Twitter, but that's the general idea. And we can have ad team if you want.
I think we have socks, right?
Yeah, we have socks.
They're so cool.
We also have slippers soon. We're working on slippers.
Nice. Which type of hats do you want, Tim?
I think you want like a cap. You know.
Ah, yeah. Okay, I was more thinking of a Stetson or something like that. Yeah, okay.
I'm more into Stetson. You already have socks, no? Oh no, you don't have socks, Tim. I don't know. Perhaps you have socks already. I don't know. Yeah, best for that. We can have scarves too. We don't have yet, but well, I asked Noah about scarf, and she said me like, oh, no one's gonna wear Prismic scarf, and I was like, oh, me, I would like to wear scarf anyway. Okay, Rylan, if you're still here, I will not talk about like well, perhaps Hugo also want to talk, well, will comment with me, but basically like what's the magic happening like with the new slice model, like where the model is coming from, like how it's created, how it's pushed to Prismic, and so on and so on. So yeah, with this with the new slice builder, what we did is that we brought like to the code like this model.json thing. So it's not like belonging on the Prismic part now, it's belonging to the code this way, like the code is a source of truth for your like Prismic repository. And that's something that developer asked for, and we are also like looking forward like to having like all your Prismic configuration one day in the code, so you can like version it and like roll back it if needed at some point. So when you create a slice, like this is like just a slice I created, like it created like already like its definition, like with having like just two structured text, one for the title and one for the description. What we can do now is that perhaps like we want to add an image for it or do something else, like actually like remove the title and description. So what we did is that we launched like the slice, what we call the slice builder. So it's an UI that you run locally and that allows you like to customize your slice library. So to actually like launch this slice builder when you're on the slice machine project, you just launch like, the Prismic sm-develop command, which will spin up the small server for it and will allow you like to work on your slices and edit its content model. Something to say on that, Hugo?
On that, no, but I think like Ryland's question implies like what happens on Prismic next.
Yep, I will address it.
Okay.
But yeah, so right now we just created a slice, it has this default model, and we launched the slice builder in order to alter this model. The slice builder is the interface that we expect you like to use to edit your slice model now. And so like if you want to add an image to a slice, like you just open the slice builder, you get to like the slice that you want to edit. So here I just jump into my hello world slice, and if I want an image, I click plus and I pick image. I called it like image conveniently. Once I'm happy with it, I save the model to file system, and here as you can see, like I save the model to file system, so I perform like a write action on my file system. So this will edit my this will edit like the model.json. It fails the first time because like it I think like it has like something to load that it fails, like a promise concurrency that we still need to fix. But as you can see, like the second time and all the future ongoing time, it will it will work as expected. Yeah, we're working on it. And as you can see, like here I can get back to my editor, and if I get back to my model.json, we can scroll down and you can see that boom, like we have the new definition of our image that has been like updated in this model.json file, so you don't have to edit it yourself, or all of that is done through the slice builder, and this is like the model of the slice that we will then push to Prismic. So yeah, what we can do like quickly, like just to demo it, is like we can add like a Prismic image tag. So Tom, if you're here or if you're still here, like yeah, we also like have a Prismic image tag, which Prismic image component, which allows you like to display like an image coming from Prismic inside your component. Primary, I'm really struggling to type, so yeah, image. I save. I can check my storybook quickly. Not this one. Here we go. Just reload, perhaps it doesn't take into account it yet. Yeah, and so yeah, I have my image thing, I'm happy with it, and now I can just get back to the slice builder, and so what I did now is to I want the title. Okay. What I did now is just like I added like an image field to my slice on the slice builder. I save it to file system, so it edited like the model.json. So it edited like the model.json file on my file system, and now that I'm happy with it, it looks like the way I want it to look and things like that. I can take a final screenshot of my component to actually like have something like a representative of it inside Prismic. And once I'm happy with it, I adjust it, push slice to Prismic. This will like success. And what this just did is that it took like the model.json file in your file system, it took its content, it sent it to Prismic. Sorry for bumping it. It sent it to Prismic, and Prismic is now aware of this new slice that you update, that you pushed to Prismic. It's just like a pushing file to GitHub, like here you push slice to Prismic. And what we can do now is to like actually like add to our Prismic dashboard. to my Prismic dashboard. So I have even more repositories than last week for us that were here, and I can just open like the slice contest live 2, which is like the repository I created for. Yeah, you have a fatal error. Hugo. This is really not good. Bro. Okay, perhaps I was logged off. I'm really afraid of what I saw. Hugo. Okay, we had an unexpected error. It happens, I don't know why. Anyway, I just like opened like the new repository that I created. I picked the default language, and actually it's like really struggling. Hugo, I think my repository is dying.
That's sad. Maybe you can show another one, and we'll look into that later.
That's really unexpected. I'm sorry for that. And actually, it like keeps logging me out, which is weird. Just give it a last try, and if this doesn't work, okay, this one is good. This was unexpected. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like you have to click twice, but you also have to create 2 repositories, right?
No, I was logged a few times. I don't know. Like, well, this was like really unexpected. You go. We have a look at Datadogs later on. Anyway, so I just opened my repository. As I said earlier, I pushed my slice to Prismic. So no, this slice should be available within Prismic. Actually, like not yet. The last thing we need to do is to actually like head to our custom type section. So I will just like open the default custom type. When I waited for it to load a bit, and in my custom type I get to my slice zone and I can click add a slice, and here we have like the default tab with the default slice library, but we also have like a new tab which is called shell slices, and inside it you can see that we have like the exact same slice that we pushed from our slice builder here. So you can see like here we have the screenshot, here we have the same screenshot, so we can say that we can see that this slice is the one we created within our slice builder. So I select it, I click add to custom type, then I hit save, and voila, our content writer now have access like to these new slices inside their documents, and they can use it like to build pages for your website. I had another issue which is like really weird. Hugo, I don't know what's going on with this repository, but it failed to save it.
Where are you seeing this?
I'm on the custom type page and it fails to save the...
Sorry. Yeah, can you show me again?
I'm on it like right now.
Like, can I see the JSON editor?
Yeah, I think it's working as expected, the JSON editor. Yeah, it's working as expected.
No clue then.
Well, apparently we have some issues with this repository tonight. Last week it was working well, but basically once we hit save, it will like allow like your content writer to use these slices inside your Prismic repository. So when they create like a new page, actually like it saved successfully. But when they create a new page, they can like pick like your new slice. So for me it's hello world, and you can pick like a title, a description, and an image, just the field that we configure like in our slice builder. So this made it clearer. I'm sorry for the few errors that we had. That's quite unexpected. But I hope Fryland this was like more like answering like your question in depth regarding like what you were like asking for. Don't know. Have a look at the chat quickly.
So Maya is asking you about the criteria for winning, and apart from the fact that you need some slices, etc., like what will we look at exactly?
Okay, so yeah, we will look at like are your slices like respecting like the common like best practices on like how to build like a website. We don't care like if it's like not done like with the best practices in mind, but like as long as you make like something that, well, the more you make something that is like, let's say like not production ready, but like if you make something that has nice responsiveness, that has nice like that, yeah, I don't know, like to be frank, like we didn't like define yet like really like strong like things that we want to judge your slices on, but yeah, we will look like for like basically like ask like 2 slices that are as close to be production ready and also like the way you document them is impacting will be impacting like a bit like your grade, let's say, because like when you create a slice library, you want it like to be shared and to reuse them across projects. So if it has like nice documentation, that's a plus for the slice library, and if it's production ready, that's also a plus for your slice library. So yeah, I think that those will be like the two main criteria: is it nicely documented, and how close is it to be production ready. But we want like we aren't asking you like to have slice being accessible, because like this mean like, well, this is something like we can judge on, like, because there's like different degree to which you can build accessibility, and that's not something that everyone like really like know or master. So if you build like, if you have a slice like which is like a contact form and you build accessibility with it, this is like really great, and actually like this push you like a little bit a bit closer to like what production ready is. But if you are just if you just like do like slices that display content, which is like not an issue at all. You can have slices like with just having like something that display like a card with an image and some description. You don't have like much accessibility to do, and actually like most of it is already like done out of the box. So we won't like be picky on that, or like, yeah. So yeah, production ready, well, as close to production ready as well as the slices, and good documentation are like the two main factors that we'll be judging on.
Nice.
Okay, let me have a quick look at the chat. Bob Singer, the question is that will you announce the winner also on the Prismic blog? Is there some publicity for the winner? Yes, we will of course like announce like the, well, okay. Excuse me, I'm speaking really fast and I can't breathe at some point. Okay, so we will announce like the winner like during our live stream next week, which is our monthly product meetup. So we will also like announce like exciting things during this live stream, but part of that will be announcing like the winner of the contest, the two winners actually. So the two winners will be announced like during this live stream, and will be contacted like I think like the day after, like for like actually like choosing like between like choosing like their prize, and like basically like doing other things that we need to do with them. We also like I think we will most likely have a blog post where we actually like also announce the builder the winners, and we will also like I think like shout out to them on Twitter, like because like if they win, like they most likely like made a really nice slice library, and if well I think we plan on shouting out to them, and if that's something like if you win and you don't want us to shout out to you, well, no big deal, like you just let us know, but we'll have a chat with you before doing that anyway. So yeah, no pressure, and we plan like of course like to announce it on our blog and our social media if there's no issue with that.
I like also the comment of Sadek, which states that the library should be helpful in some way to our community. I say in some way because, like, obviously making slices that are reusable for others might be a way to be useful, but also maybe showcasing some corner cases of the builder, the slices, or even storybook could be of interest. I don't know, like for example, you evoked knobs and rich text, say. If you have a nice way to solve the issue, I think that's something that we would care of. So maybe something to have in mind too.
Yeah. There's not an interesting question from Maya, but what is the highlighter I use on VS Code? If you can show my screen flow quickly. On VS Code, I'm using like the default like Monokai theme highlight, which I just really like. And if you were talking about like this little rainbow thing, like to show the indentation, it's called like rainbow color, and I think I have it like somewhere here, which is like just a simple plugin like to show you your indent rainbow. Here we go. To like display like indentation with different color within your builder, your code editor. Okay. That's interesting. Ryan is saying that when he did some change in the builder, it didn't create one.
Yeah, we wouldn't. Ryan, if you're able to reproduce, maybe you can post your issue on the forum, and I would be happy to talk with you about that.
Also, just a quick reminder that the Slice Machine project is open source, so you can also have access to its code on GitHub. I don't know, Hugo, if you can quickly share the link to the repository on the chat. Yeah, so the Slice Machine itself like is an open source project. So even like if there are some parts that you need like to be working at Prismic, like to actually like contact the backend, you can like also like be part of it by contributing to it. So if you have like if you want like to be involved in Slice Machine, we'll be happy like to discuss it with you and to like you can work on it basically. Like if you want like to answer few things on it, or I don't know, like participate to it or fix bugs if you're into that, if you're a really kind person, you can help us like making like achieving like a Slice Machine like being like what we're dreaming of.
So at the moment, the builder is super hidden inside one of our branches. So you can copy paste this link and you will have access to the builder. You can see other packages that are more general regarding the Slices API or like common functionality that we use everywhere, but also the slice zone in Next and Next. So feel free to read the code, post issues, and if you want to submit a pull request, that would be even better.
Yeah. Kind of. Okay, Bob Singer saying like by my experience like with the screenshot is that it's not always loading the whole component, missing images. Will there be a possibility to just upload your own image instead of using the automatic screenshot?
So first, just check that you're using the latest version of the builder, because we fixed most of issues regarding images loading, and otherwise yes, really soon. So we'll still prototyping at the moment a solution for that, but you should see configure mocks button at some point in your Slice builder, where you will be able to both set some configuration on how images should be rendered, or to set your own URL.
Okay, I caught up with the chat. That's great. Okay. I don't remember, Hugo, if we have like some topics that we wanted to talk about or to address. We have like let's say 15 minutes remaining, so there's still time like remaining for you like to ask us your question if you have any, or else, Hugo, do you have a topic?
I think we've covered the list.
Great. Perhaps what I can do then is that actually like fiddle with the repeatable zone of the Slice builder, which is something that we don't showcase often because like it's
so
like
we also noted something regarding missing fields. So I guess that's about like some link properties.
Yeah, indeed. What can happen when you use Prismic is then, because like we don't enforce, like we don't have like quick wired field in Prismic, and we are famous for that. But like you don't, like when you are filling content within Prismic, you don't have like quick wired field because like we don't want like to impact the preview experience of your content writer by doing so. So what can happen is that your slice may be actually like loaded when with data missing. So perhaps like doesn't have an image, doesn't have like a description or something like that. So it's always a nice touch when you're developing like a slice library to take that into account, that perhaps the field is not there. So like either like have a fallback for your content writer like to actually like notice that they're missing like something in the builder, or perhaps like this is just like something allowed, like perhaps you have a section like with a title and an image that perhaps you want a version of this section not having the title, and if your content writer doesn't fit the title, perhaps it's just nice like to actually like remove the whole like h1 tag that you are using or something like that. So that's a nice touch that you can use that you can like take into account when developing your Slice library. Currently, it's not like really like straightforward because like mocks are always filled. But as Hugo say, like we're working on mocks, and in the future we'll be able like to develop your slices with missing fields, I think.
Yeah. Also, the only thing we did for the moment with missing field is let you update the JSON manually without blocking you. We will push an update, I think, before the end of the week regarding the missing properties of rich text. and constraints on images. But for links, it's a bit more complicated because usually there is a relation between the type of content that you link to in case of a link to documents. So we're still working on, or thinking at least, on how to handle this.
Great. Okay. What I want to show you then is I noticed that I talk a bit about how to make your slices responsive, and I do that by adding a repeatable zone inside my component with images. So you just put an image, and I will call it image. So now in my component I have a repeatable zone with images, so it will create an array of image in my mock that I can then use to develop my slice. So let's head into my slice and get rid of everything. We just display a simple gallery of image here. And I think I had a tailwind already, so we can already start doing some front-end code here. So I have my Prismic image field. What I do is that I will wrap it inside a picture element. No, it's not. It's figure or picture? No, it's figure. I think. Well, I don't remember the semantic text, so let's use the div one.
No clue.
There's one. I think it's fig and figure and fig caption. Yes. So I think it's figure. And shame on me if that's not this one. So what I did is that we have a library of images inside our let's say we have a library of images on our slice. So what I do is that I will loop through it using the v4 directive on view. So it's for item index in slice.items, because when you create a repeatable zone in your slice, it will feed an items object, an items array, where when you just create a non-repeatable feed in your slice, it will just feed the primary key, what we had earlier here. So here I'm looping through slice.items, and I extract item from it, and item is an object containing actually item.image. So I can get here, and I can have it item.image. Last thing is that view wants you to have a key, so we just have a quick key. So it will be item dash, and we will have a $sign. There we go. Index. And it should be good. And if I say that, I should already be able to see three or so images in my storybook. Can close this one. Okay. Refresh a bit. Okay, actually I don't see anything, so I might have missed something. It's the 25th. No, the finite date is the 23rd. If you have any doubts about regarding the contest, you can check out the blog post regarding. Yeah, thank you, Noah. So I added everything. I just messed up somewhere, so I need to figure out where I messed up. Or perhaps I just have actually this is really lame if that's that. Okay. I think Hugo, we weren't lucky because we just generated a mock with one image.
Yeah, that's a possibility. So basically, the mock generator for items will render between 1 and 6, I believe, items. So that might be possible that the mock generated only one image this time.
So as we said, we're working on improving mocks, so that's something you should be able to configure in the future. No Samuel, I'm not using custom mocks here. So what I do is that I just regenerate a mock set by changing something quickly in the builder. So I just saved it by adding a label, and now okay, I still have one Hugo. That's really a lot of fun. But
start to look like a bug, right?
No, not looking like a bug. Or perhaps it's me just not knowing how to code anymore. But anyway, I'll get inside the mock just to say, yeah, we really like have the items. So that's a shame. Let's try it last time, and if that doesn't work, I just like hard code the mock inside it. Okay. Okay, too bad we only have one. Okay, so we have our items thing here. We just pick everything. Oh, okay. Here we go. So we have our items field. I will just take all of that and pass a few others. Here we go. Now I should have 3 pair of carrots. Great. So let's do like some style. Well, let's now that we have like few images, like we can like actually style them. So using Tailwind, it's like done really quick. So I just add flex to it, and actually, yes, I will use like MD flex. So I just want them to be in flex over like a certain like threshold. So here in MD, I just have flex this way. I'll add like a quick margin between each of them, like for it to be nice. So I just add class, and we have like we'll add actually the padding px5, let's say, and to like to make like to fix this padding on each side, I will just like add a negative margin on my container section here. So I just like minus M5, and here we go. We just have like a quick gallery like of images that we display here. So this is great, and as you can see, like I already like did like the responsiveness with Tailwind because like it was like done really fast, and yeah, with Tailwind it's done really fast. So I just like added MD to my to my few things that are like working about like responsive. I will do the same here with my class. Which is named just like apply like the padding on over like this threshold, and now like if we get back to my slice, if I like scroll down, like you can see that it does like the responsiveness thing. I think like Storybook even I have like nicer thing that you can use like to use like to check like for responsiveness, but basically if you like put it like full screen, like let's say I'm working on my carrot slice, and here I can just like have responsive like what I use like I'm doing like with a regular browser, like to check like if it's responsive. I can use like the Chrome tool thing like to make responsiveness, but I'm not sure like apparently it's working on with Storybook, and yeah, that's basically it. Like as you can see, actually like I did like the old way, like because like this is the way that works nicely with Internet Explorer, but there's also like you can like get rid of this hacky like negative margin thing by using like I think it's space thing on Tailwind. So let's give it a try live. So Tailwind has like a really nice utility which is used like to actually create like margin between items. So it's called like space. So I just like space X because I want it on the X axis, and put it 5, and this should like give us really like the similar result. I hope so. Okay, it's like dying. Okay, I remove the flex one, so it's not working, of course. I re-add the flex. Here, as you can see, like we re-added like the spacing between each of them. Actually, like here it should be 10 because we used to have like a padding of 5. So if I get 10, I get back the medium breakpoint, and I can even like now create like a space Y10 for my smartphone version, and I can disable it like on the medium past the medium breakpoint. So I again like space Y0. So saving all of that, I should have like my small gallery like working nicely with every resolution now. So this is like over the medium breakpoint. I scroll down. At some point it should like boom, like switch like when we pass the medium, when we are under the medium breakpoint, so under mobile resolution, you can see that it switched like to our like non-flex like layout, and having like them just displayed as block. And with the space Y utility, I can like space them like evenly, like really easily.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, we're getting close to the end. I'll have a look at the chat, but Hugo, anything to say?
So I saw that no one is actually doing a Next library. Like when you said there were 2 winners, would there be one for Next and one for Next?
No, this is like we will pick like library like independently of the framework you're using, so you're not like like if you're using like the jQuery starter, because we don't have a jQuery starter. Yeah, like we won't look at your framework. Like just like pick the one you're comfortable with and like make the best out of yourself. Okay. So yeah, again, Samuel, no, I wasn't using custom hooks. I just like quickly edited like the generated mock because Source Builder was trolling me with having like only one slice one image generated. Already post the link for the project meetup. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I noticed the Samuel for the space thing.
I just wanted to remind you that we keep pushing new versions of the builder, so make sure that you upgrade them as soon as the new version arrives, especially regarding mocks, because we already made some improvements. So if some of you find some inconsistencies into how the mocks are generated, or even items that we could fix right away, keep updating, and we'll do our best for your deadline.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. Thank you all for joining. If you have a last question, that's the last minute when you can send them, and otherwise I think we will stop like really soon. Again, like few reminders. So you have until like next month, the end of next Monday, like to submit us your CSS library. To submit your CSS library, all you need to do is to send us your GitHub link and your storybook link, and that's it. You will enter the contest with that. And my laptop just died. No, it didn't die. But okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Thank you all. Can you go over routes? I don't get it. Okay, yeah. I think that was a joke. Okay, bye everyone. See you.
Bye.
What?